5, 6 people.
Bloody hell, that's gone up well
Hey.
quick. Hey guys, you know.
Hey, everybody's here. Right, cool. So, I guess we get the ball rolling.
I think we should.
So, welcome to podcast number 3. I'm Russ, and we're here with Matt.
Hey guys.
And Andy.
Hello.
Otherwise known as Morty3D, who is Matt, and Diabolic, who is Andy, for people on Steam, so they can relate. We're going to go through our usual routine. We're going to speak about what we've been playing, probably have an argument about something. We're going to talk about gaming news, probably have another argument about something, and then we're going to go into the quiz. So, start off with what we've been playing, and Andy, do you want to go first this week?
I'm afraid mine's not that much. Just
Again.
Awesome Noughts.
Just Awesome Noughts.
Just Awesome Noughts, I'm afraid. On the odd game of FIFA here and there, but mainly just Awesome Noughts.
I still owe you. I still owe you a Facebook apology.
Oh yeah, you do.
I need to get around to that.
You really
Yeah.
should. I'm pretty sure there's a forfeit after a certain amount of time. It's been like a couple of months, I'm sure.
It's not been a couple of months.
It's been at least at 1 month.
I think it's a year. Is it a year and it expires?
Yeah, but there is forfeits, you know.
No, but yeah, I'll get it done. So, what league are you now in Awesome Noughts?
Yeah, about that. I started the other day in League 3.
Yeah.
Played one game, and although I played pretty well, I got like 8 kills to 3 deaths.
Okay.
We lost, and I went down to League 8.
League 8?
League 8.
Wow.
I
That's
know.
quite a jump.
It was. I wasn't prepared for that
I
at all.
think it's because your leaderboard rating doesn't update until you've finished a game. So you were probably actually League 8 and then had that game and then it updated your leaderboard.
Oh, right, okay.
I imagine that's probably what's happened.
Well,
Right, okay.
I started my first ever online game. I started in League 3.
Okay, I'm just going to, hands down, Awesome Noughts leaderboards are completely fucked.
Yeah, I'd never played online before, and then I finished my game, and it said I dropped from League 3 to League 8, and I was like, okay then.
Yeah, that's really weird. But, hey.
Another thing that I found joining the game after that, it started out as me and 2 bots versus another guy and 2 bots.
Yeah.
And then another guy joined the other team. And about 5 minutes later, another guy joined that team as well. So it's me and 2 bots.
Yeah, the matchmaking.
3 like humans.
Yeah.
And I found that a bit.
It's not brilliant, is it?
No, I found that a bit unfair.
A bit suspicious, yeah.
Needless to say, we lost quite badly.
Yeah. So that's all you've been playing then? Just
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's fine. So Matt, you better have a lot to talk about.
A lot of Borderlands.
Oh yeah, you've got back into that.
I've got back into that. I've been playing co-op with my mate. I'm currently a commando, and it's it's going quite well, to be honest. It's so much fun. I could play it all day, but stupid exam tomorrow.
If you started again, this commando,
Yeah.
or is it a character? Yeah.
It's a new one. I've got my own single player as well. I think I'm an assassin on that one, and I'm a necromancer on another as well. I've
Yeah.
got a few playthroughs going.
Yeah, the commando's the only one I don't really know much about, because I've done it as the gunzerker and the assassin, and
Yeah.
I did it co-op with Phil, where he was Mayor, is it, the Siren?
Yeah, the siren.
So the only one I haven't really seen. I played a little bit of Necromancer.
Yeah.
But,
Necromancer's it's too easy, really. The power that you get is a bit overpowered, I think.
yeah.
A big,
I think
gigantic robot.
As a DLC character, though, it's kind of... I mean, if it had some kind of PvP, people worry about overpowered characters, but
When you're on single player, it does help. They tagged
Exactly.
it as the easiest to use and also the hardest to use character, and I don't understand how it's difficult to use.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's open to... Like, I might play it and suck with it, so...
Yeah. What else have I been on? Super Crate Box. Been playing the shit out of that game.
I know I'm about to say, I know you've been playing Super Crate Box a lot.
Yeah, Super Crate Box, Need for Speed The Run.
But loved it.
Yeah, so if you want to maybe divulge a bit as to what Super Crate Box is.
It's a little free-to-play game. It's sort of just a single like, it's a square level that you've got streams of enemies coming at you, and you've got to pick up these boxes that gives you a new weapon each time, and you've just got to keep getting these boxes, and the longer you play, the more difficult it gets. Because if you don't kill any of these enemies, they drop into this pit of fire at the bottom, which makes them angry, and come down at the top, raging fast.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah.
I tend to like I'll kill what I can.
Yeah.
But I tend to like jump over them and ignore them a bit.
And then they drop down the top and they come down really, really quickly. And
I thought them red ones were just random occurrences.
No, it's the stuff coming through the. They come down. They go through the bottom and come out the top really, really angry.
Oh right. Okay, that's probably why my top score's like 14.
That probably is why that top score's 14. But I managed to break through to 41 and unlocked SHMP or something, which is the harder mode. But Andy is being all. Is that it? Get going. You with your high score.
Ambush, mate.
You're a bit of a pro, aren't you?
Yeah. So you've not seen Ambush then?
No, I haven't seen Ambush.
I haven't got off normal. Yeah, I'm still on normal.
Well, basically, with Ambush, enemies can spawn anywhere on the map.
Oh God.
And any kind of rage difficulty. So they could have like a big giant red boss or enemy, like spawn right next to you.
Lovely.
Is there anything past a red one?
No.
No.
Oh,
but you know the little white ones that float around. If they go through the fire, they come out pink.
Oh, they're really annoying.
They're really annoying, but they come out pink at the other side. I find that quite funny.
They're really annoying because they turn around. I think that's the one thing that annoys me about them.
They follow you. On the first level, you can get them stuck at the top for ages.
Mm.
There is a gold enemy.
Ooh.
The gold one.
Yeah, but it's very rare.
So how do you get yourself a dark enemy, like a gold enemy? Is that like a random? That's probably a random occurrence.
Yeah.
Is that maybe once you've hit a certain amount of crates?
Yeah, I was gonna think maybe once you get to like 50 crates, one will appear, and then it could be that type of enemy.
Yeah. For everyone in the chat, I don't know if you're Patch there. He's totally gash it. I mean, if you wanna,
it's free to play on Steam, so just get on and download it.
Let us know what your top scores are. Just quickly, while we're on this topic, actually, I put something up on the Steam group just before this about our Player of the Week, and I was thinking what we can do is have maybe like a challenge on games. So what I was thinking for this kind of the next 2 or 3 weeks, we can have our own like mini Super Crate Box leaderboard, and whoever's at the top is the Player of the Week.
Can I also put that picks or it didn't happen is going to be the rule on high scores, I think?
Is what?
The rule on high scores, it's got to be picks or it didn't happen, because the leaderboards are down at the moment, which means we can't see our friends.
Yeah. I was thinking we just like get a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
Because you can get a screenshot on Steam dead easy.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
I was thinking that'd be quite a cool idea. So I mean, let us know what you think, guys. But
Patch likes it.
Stillman's 12, so at least I'm 14, so at least I'm slightly better.
Yeah, but you got me to contend to on normal.
I can get practicing. I mean, if there's a prize at stake.
People are going to be more.
On normal then?
Say that again.
Is this on the normal difficulty we're doing it, or?
Yeah, on normal. Yeah.
On normal and on the PC, Andy. So.
And on the PC, yeah.
Why? Why can't I pay my phone?
Because it's free to play. You've got no excuse.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to.
Anyway,
basically, we'll set.
To my phone.
No, it has to be on the PC.
Everyone's got to have a level playing field.
It has to be the same level, and it has to be the same difficulty.
It's going to be that first red level then, I think, because everyone.
Yeah.
That's the one you've unlocked to start with.
Yeah. Come on, you can't complain. It's free to play. So it's not like we're making you buy anything. But anyway, we'll iron out the details and keep an eye on Steam, because we'll get that sorted out probably today or tomorrow.
I went back on XCOM as well.
So yeah, I was going to say, well, so you've been playing XCOM?
XCOM, Borderlands, Super Crate Box, Need for Speed, The Run, and I think that's it.
That one had actually quite a cool concept.
Yeah, that's why I got it. I thought it seemed quite interesting. I got the demo long before it came out, and I thought I'd give the game a proper go, and it's actually quite cool. Each stage is a part. I think it's San Francisco to New York, so one end of America to the other, and you have to get in each stage is a level, and you have to gain so many places during that level to progress. And then there's other ones like time trials. You have to beat a certain time to make up ground because you've lost time elsewhere and stuff.
Because aren't you essentially running away from something, or?
Yeah, the starting scene is you're about to be crushed in a car compactor, and you escape from that, steal some guy's car, and you have to escape them. And it's all because you owe money, and it also happens that this race gives you enough prize money to pay off who's chasing you. Just lucky enough, yeah.
So it is a race.
Yeah, it is a race, and there's about, I think, 300 cars participating, because I think you start at like position 320.
Because I kind of always thought that it was a case of you were physically running away from someone. I didn't realise it was still actually.
Well, it starts off as you're running away from these guys that you owe money to.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that this race to New York happens to give out a certain prize money that you need to pay off the people.
Yeah, that's kind of cool though.
It is, but
I mean, I guess once you've got a franchise like Need for Speed, you kind of need to make it as original as possible.
Yeah.
So I mean, it might not have been the most successful game, but I can kind of applaud
they're changing it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Their ambition to make it slightly different.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, it's still a racing game,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's still a race, but that's why I always
Most
enjoyed.
Wanted sort of bombed, didn't it? It didn't do so good. Need for Speed Most Wanted. That was the one before the run.
What's the newest one? Need for Speed Most Wanted is the newest one.
Was it?
Yeah, the newest one, because Criterion made that, who make Burnout.
Yeah, I knew that they'd changed company.
And that was quite successful.
There is a film coming out as well.
Yeah, Fast and Furious, isn't it? Pat to appreciate that.
Yeah, you're right. Most Wanted is the newest one, and that's not done so well. The Run was the last one.
That was the last one, yeah, made by that studio. But I think with racing games, it's always kind of hard. You either have to go simulator, so like Forza or Gran Turismo,
and Formula One race championship and stuff like that,
or you have to go kind of something a bit more out there, so like your Driver and things like that. So car chases and escapes and things. So Driver is obviously a racing, it's a car game.
Yeah.
But it's got this whole backstory. I mean, especially the newest Driver, where you play the part of a guy who's in a coma, and you can like body swap and stuff. It's really
that one's really weird. I didn't like that one.
And that's what I mean. Like, I guess it gets to the point where you have to just throw things out there and try and make it.
It's one of those you got to roll the dice. You're not sure if it's going to work, but you can't win things if you don't risk.
Yep. Alright, so anything else you've been playing? Anything else?
No, that's about it.
No. I mean, I've been playing what I can. I don't know if I mentioned. Yeah, it was since the last podcast. Actually, I finished God of War now. God of War HD. That's a really good game.
It is.
It's really fun, and you'll be pleased to know that I've done episode 4 of Walking Dead now.
Have you?
Yes. So.
How have you not played episode 5 straight after?
Well, it was dead late, so I did bed. But I was going to play episode 5 before the podcast, so I could kind of talk about it a bit more. But it's like fucked up my autosave. So now, when I go on episode 5, it's made different choices for me.
Right.
Like, this isn't really a spoiler, but you know how at the end of episode 4, you can either go on alone or with some people to do that little thing.
Yeah.
I chose alone, and when I loaded up episode 5, they were all with me, and like the previously on the Walking Dead, like all that was different. So I don't know whether it's messed up just from the end of 4, or whether now
it sounds like it's messed up from the end of 4,
or whether it's my entire thing. So I don't really want to get into episode 5 until I've
try load up episode 4 again. Start episode 4 again, and if the decisions are still the same, then it's obviously just episode 4 that's fucked up, so then you'll just have to redo episode 4.
Because I looked a little bit, I quickly googled it, but there's a lot of spoiler alerts and things, because obviously people have to divulge what's going on, so it's a bit tricky at the minute. But I'll work around it and I'll.
Yeah.
Do
So
it.
I chose to go alone as well,
Yeah.
but the group kind of said no, we're not. We're not going to let you go alone.
See, I said
Did you not get that?
I said I'll go alone, and they said, yeah, that's fine. And I,
You pissed some people off
I'm
there.
obviously a bit of a twat.
You pissed someone off along the way.
So, and then they were like, yeah, that's fine, we'll meet you later, kind of thing. And then the end of episode 4, I was by myself. So, I mean, it's really hard to talk about without spoiling.
Yeah, because I'm still stuck on episode 2. I haven't played it in ages.
I'm
not stuck. I just haven't done
We'll
it
have
for
to,
ages.
We'll have to do a spoiler cast when we've all finished it.
Yeah,
well,
we should.
Just discuss the entire thing. So
Maybe
but
after
apart
the
from that,
exam tomorrow, I'll bomb through some of it.
I've started Mass Effect 3 as well.
Oh yeah.
That is really fun, actually.
I've played the the demo for that.
Yeah,
And I thought it was quite interesting.
It's quite interesting, but I don't think I've ever played a game that's tried to achieve so much. Like, it's just I think I'm 6 hours in now, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of like what you can
Big
do in this game.
Did you play Mass Effect 1 and 2?
I've played like half of Mass Effect 1, but then that was on Phil's PC, so I could never go back. It's at his house essentially, so I can't play it. And then the only reason I'm playing Mass Effect 3 is because it's on PlayStation Plus. So, but I don't think you really need to have played the other ones too much.
No, yeah, but they're better than 3.
Yeah, because obviously, well, have you played 3 then? Have you?
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to complete? Like just story.
Just quite a while.
Like what? 20 hours, 30 hours, or less?
Bit more than that.
More than that, yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
about
I'm getting the impression that I'm going to have to really sit and get into this game like big time. But I quite like and quite don't like the way that it lets you pick. You know how you can choose whether it's going to be an RPG or an action game or like an action RPG kind of like it gives you the option, so you can either watch cutscenes or play cutscenes essentially. I think that's a really nice idea. So I chose to do it where I played the cutscenes and chose dialogue and things like that because I quite like RPGs. But then by choosing that, like the voice acting and the kind of the way this cutscenes play out can be really crap. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just sometimes it's really wooden and I don't know. It seems to lose a lot. Part of me wishes I'd just made it so I could watch it as a cutscene. If you get me.
I think so.
It just seems like they've lost quite a lot of kind of effect of kind of how epic some bits are, because it's really the characters all kind of like just seem really wooden, and the things they say can be kind of weird and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, that's something I haven't seen in a game before. So it is kind of, it's well done to them for trying to achieve this, but it seems like that's something that they've tried to overextend what they're doing. So, but it's a good game. I can see, I probably am going to sit through it till I finish, but it might take me another couple of years. Because, it takes a long time for me to get through this kind of thing, so.
Well, you might have to buy the game then.
Yeah, well, I think I get it. On PlayStation Plus, I'll probably get it for a couple of months, so. I reckon, hopefully I'll have it done before it goes off PlayStation Plus, because I don't think I'd want to buy it, because I'd have to get it for PS3, and it's like $49.99, which is insane.
Really?
Yeah,
it's dropped to about a tenner on Xbox.
Yeah, I mean the PlayStation Network, they've got like quite a lot of expensive games on there, but that's a discussion for another time. Apart from that, yeah, apart from that, I've been playing obviously my Awesome Noughts when I can and things like that, so that's all good. So I think, yeah, we've been through that, so I think we'll segue into the next bit now, and we'll go through some news. So I've got a few headlines here. Obviously, I think the biggest piece of news this week, biggest facepalm in terms of releases, is the SimCity launch.
Oh, I've been reading so much about that. It's just such a failure.
I think everyone kind of knows the basics here. So just a quick, it launched I think it was a very last-minute decision that it was going to be always online. And obviously, the only reason you'd make a game always online is to support microtransactions and to monitor players and have online interactions and things. But the servers were a piece of trash, essentially, so it just crashed. And then people would get to play it for another 10 minutes and it would crash, and so on and so on. So I think it's like, I think now they have managed to backlog enough so the servers are almost 100%. You can just play the game. Because I think what people found the most annoying is they would want... SimCity, to me, is a game you sit by yourself, you make a city, and that's it. You know, you kind of... And then you share that with friends if you want to, but it's a single-player game to me, and I think that's what annoyed people, is they wanted to just play the single-player game, but couldn't because they couldn't connect to the EA servers.
Well, I read something about that, is they've responded to this saying that it shouldn't be always online, but they said that they've made it just online. They never even considered having a single player. They never wanted to. They said it would have been too difficult to do the online and the single player as separate entities, so they've just gone for always online.
Yeah, so was that something they always disclosed? Or cause
No, it was a news article I read on Joystick the other day when I was reading through all of these. There's about 17 articles a day on the failure of SimCity, and one of them was about the fact that it was always intended to be online.
Yeah, so I guess like it's a big problem, really.
Yeah.
For something that like that. I mean, I could understand if they'd launched and it had worked and it had been 100%, but the fact that they kept it quiet, from what I gather, they've kept it quiet and then it's not worked. It's just for a company like EA as well. This is a big boo-boo. Yeah, if this was a brand new IP from a brand new studio, yeah, it'd still be bad, but it'd be a bit more understandable.
Mm.
So is it kind of like the same error that Diablo 3 had, in the sense that the servers weren't big enough?
I don't know if it was not big enough. I just think they just couldn't. It might not have been like site capacity. I think it was just simultaneous. Like everyone tried to get on at the same time,
right?
So it couldn't handle that volume of traffic on that hit kind of thing.
Right.
But I mean, either way, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out the servers weren't big enough in the first place anyway to hold that much data. So what actual multiplayer aspects does it have?
It's all the Facebook crap, isn't it? You know, you build a city and then you ask your friends for help, and you can't do certain things unless you have a certain number of friends helping you, or you do a microtransaction and buy whatever people you need. It's that type of thing.
So it's a bit like when you get on Facebook, I need help in like Farmville. Can you send me 2 planks of wood? So you can get, if you can get other players to. So they don't actually exist within the same city. It's just you can just kind of teleport.
You can go to each other's cities and you can visit. It's like Farmville effectively, but SimCity from what I've read. I haven't played it myself. I don't want to.
So what's Patch got here? Cities share geographical location, which means they share disasters, crime rates. See, to me that is quite cool.
Yeah.
So if it meant always being online stuff like that, then I can kind of see that. Like that is quite nice. If it was only to support microtransactions and things, but the fact they've actually built gameplay into it, like I think I'm totally on board with the always online now. Like I didn't have a problem with it anyway, but I would only have a problem with it if it turns out they were doing it for their own kind of money grabbing. But I mean the idea that like I could have, like say us three could have the same geographical location, all have our own cities. And then, like, I don't know, Matt's is like full of criminals, and then so I'm assuming all them criminals could start like leaking into my city and things like that. And
maybe
there could be like, and you could have a nuclear power plant that blows up, and it could, you know, radiate to Matt's city and things like that. So that'd be quite cool, I think, because it's just a social experience. Then, I guess some people just wanted it, as I imagine it would be, is to just have a canvas where they can build a city and not care about other people. So,
Yeah, it
don't
does
know.
sort of work, but the way they've done it is bad. So,
quick yes or no, regardless of the hoo-ha about it, would you have bought it?
depends on the price, really. I wouldn't pay full price game for it now.
How much is it going for? Like 40 quid?
I assume 30, 40 quid, yeah.
Probably a lot, isn't it? Yeah. Dark State, no, he wouldn't have bought it. I would have bought it, I think, but it's going to take a while till it's a lot cheaper, I guess, till it's on a Steam sale for about $9.99, something like that. Because I did watch a bit on Twitch earlier, and it does look fun. I mean, it looks really nice as well, the UI, and it's really pretty and things. So, but yeah, so okay, and then the next thing I've got is quite a big, on a similar topic with microtransactions, is Black Ops 2 is going to support microtransactions now.
Yeah, that's on my list of stuff to talk about.
So that's obviously could suggest a few things. So I guess the biggest thing I read in from that is that Modern Warfare 3 might be free to play as its multiplayer.
I don't know. It's a different company though, isn't it?
Well, it's the same.
Same publisher, yeah.
It's the same publisher, so it'll be up to, I assume that kind of decision's up to the publisher.
I don't even know who gets rights on that, really.
I imagine that's got to be Activision's decision. But I mean, to me, it's because they're probably going to see how well microtransactions go down in blocks 2.
Yeah.
And then I reckon if it's successful, they will release Modern Warfare 3 with multiplayer and the single player and all the co-op, like special ops and stuff. But then maybe a little bit down the line, but at some point they'll release Warfare 3's multiplayer as free to play with microtransactions that affect kind of guns and skins and that kind of thing.
Well, if they go that way, turn it into a free-to-play online, then it's going to be pay-to-win. You can't see it being anything else. And
that's what I mean, yeah.
It's going to be terrible.
I mean, so this is Modern Warfare 3, but chronologically, which Modern Warfare, which Call of Duty is this?
8?
It's like 8, yeah. I mean, so by now they've got to start changing things, haven't they? So what's this?
4 was Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
Then 5 is World at War. 6 is Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops is 9.
9, exactly. So by the 9th one, they've got to start changing things, and free to play is kind of the future of that kind of. So Dark State, he's put here, sounds like Warface. That Warface does look quite good actually. I've seen a bit of that. That's on the Cry engine, and that is a kind of the same thing. It's like a big online first-person shooter military simulation that's free to play.
I haven't seen that.
So they have to. Modern Warfare is going to have to compete with things like this.
Yeah, they are.
Which to me is, I think that's why they're going to make Modern Warfare 3 free to play. So, but yeah. Any other news from you two guys?
What I'm looking forward to is Age of Empires 2 HD is coming on Steam.
I did notice that. I mean, at first I was a bit surprised, like, they released that as an old, like, I didn't really understand. I thought it was an error, and it should have been, like, the new Age of Empires 4 or whatever.
No, I've always liked Age of Empires 2. It's a lot better than Age of Empires 3, to be honest. They sort of complicated things with Age of Empires 3.
Yeah.
And I always used to play it on the PS2, because back then when it came out in 99.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, I didn't really have a decent PC, and I don't think it was out on PC properly to start with. But it'd be so much fun. I loved that one.
See, I was always more of a Settlers person.
Really?
I like the Settlers, yeah. What about you, Andy? You were Age of Empires fan.
Yeah, I am.
You excited about Age of Empires 2 HD?
I was not aware of it, to be honest.
It's going to come out at about, I think it's going to come out at $9.99 initially as a
that's not bad, actually,
a Steam sale option. Then it's going to go up to about 15 to 20 quid because it's currently retailing at $18.
Yeah. So I think that's quite good. I mean, that is quite tempting, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Fast.
It's coming out April 9th, which means the loans come through like a week later, so, you know.
Yeah.
Do you ever use the cheats on Age of Empires 2?
I never used
Like,
the cheats,
You can spawn monster trucks.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can piss about with a lot. I did. You used to be able to create your own maps and everything, and we used to piss about with that. We put tanks and shit and monster trucks in it.
So wait, hang on a second. So at what point in the process did they think we're gonna hack these cheats in and we're gonna have monster trucks?
Well, if you're gonna think about that, then why don't you think about GTA, where they thought it would be appropriate to get a plane and a tank in it as a cheat?
But that makes sense because it's like a crime city. Then you can get.
So you bring a tank into a crime city.
But that.
How do you get to the process where you've stolen a tank?
But that does make sense. Like, let's face it, that makes more sense than like riding into battle with your chariots and your stone slingers.
And then up comes a monster truck.
Monster trucks.
Yeah, like, gang warfare. You're riding up in your SUVs and your Hummers, and then a guy rolls up with a tank. It's the same process.
It's not. That makes a lot more sense.
It doesn't make any sense, really.
It doesn't make any sense, but it makes a lot more sense than like charging through ancient Greece and flipping monster trucks.
That'd be so much fun.
That would be quite fun.
Yeah,
I think
there we go.
That's a plot for our first game: monster truck racing in ancient Greece.
Screw chariots, you know.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that one down. Gladiator battles, with monster trucks.
Gladiator battles in monster trucks.
Okay, so I guess while we're on there,
Patch says fund it.
we'll get a Kickstarter for it.
Yeah.
So while we're on the topic of new releases, you've got
Shadowrun's coming back as well.
What are you saying?
Shadowrun, you remember that one?
I can't say I do. No.
It's an Xbox. It was on 360. It's like one of the original releases, but it sort of died out.
All right.
But that was a remake of the really old 2D one, and they've got a Kickstarter going. It's called Shadowrun Returns, and it's got 1.9 million in donations already.
Wow, so it's quite popular.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be like, to be honest. I've not looked into it that much. I only saw it today.
See, I don't think I've heard of that. So
I've heard of it before, but I don't know. These Kickstarter remakes, there's a lot going around.
Yeah, but it's obviously like it's almost like backed by popular demand. Like if enough people pay, then it's quite clearly still in the interest of people.
2 million worth of donations.
So it's based on a tabletop RPG universe. So I mean that sounds like my kind of thing. So I might go and check that out after this. God of War Ascension came out this week.
Oh, is it actually out now?
I'm pretty sure it's out now, or it's out this week at least. I quite look forward to it. Like I've played a bit of it at Eurogamer. I think especially now I've played God of War HD and kind of I've got into the lore of God of War. That rhymes.
It's out in America.
Yeah. It's
out in the rest of Europe. It's coming out in Australia tomorrow, and for some reason we don't get it until 2 days. It's already out in the EU, yet we don't get it.
Not in our well, whatever. Like, but it's one of the prettiest games I've ever played. I think, like, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's really, really well, like the rendering and the shading and stuff in it. It's just like top notch. It looks fantastic. So that's going to be. I think that's going to be up there as one of the big games that kind of sends PS3 out. Like, I know it's still kind of early because PS3's still got a long way to go, but I think with the technology that the PS3 has got inside it, they are pretty much at the peak now for PS3, and I think that's going to go down as one of the games that, I mean, especially graphics-wise.
Yeah.
Maybe not technically what it's achieved, but graphics-wise, it's right up there.
God of War is very fun.
Heart of the Swarm came out this week. I mean, that's more Andy's cup of tea. But you seen anything about it?
I've been watching a load of games.
Yeah, what, you've been watching? Campaign or multiplayer?
Both.
Yeah.
It does look good.
I watched about 3 hours of the campaign yesterday. I was just really hooked into it, and it looks really good. I mean, I don't really know much about the universe of StarCraft, but Like, is it Kerrigan, the woman?
Yeah.
She's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie, she's pretty cool. I mean, I saw the bit where she's like talking to the brood queen and things of the Zergs, and she's just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm your queen. Do what I say," kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, that's good. I mean, that's one that I'm quite tempted to. I mean, maybe get. The problem is with Blizzard games, is they very, very rarely come down in price. It would be a long time before it's cheap.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Diablo's still like $29.99 in game and things like that. And that's old now. That is an old game now. Especially Path of Exile and things have outdated that. So you'd have thought Path of Exile might have forced them to lower the cost of it, but what else came out this week? Sniper, Ghost Warrior 2. Anyone excited for that?
I've heard of it. I never really got into the first one, to be honest. I've played the demo of it, and I just didn't really like it.
I think Sniper Elite has kind of got its hands around the sniper market. Like, that's a really fun game.
It is. We had so much fun on that.
I watched a trailer for Ghost Warrior 2, and it looks kind of...
I did read something about that, actually. What did I read about it?
I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of fun. I mean, if you like your sniping and your military, but it's got like the typical kill cam where it follows the bullet, and that's got nothing on the kill cam from Sniper Elite.
This is what I read. It's Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 thinks it can control you with terror, so it appears to have some fright involved in it.
I can't see them being able to achieve that, to be honest, but we'll see.
I don't know.
And then the other game I noticed, how there's a long line of simulation games, so you've got Simulator, Forklift, Simulator...
Oh yeah, them ones.
There's a new one coming out, Simulation Police Force 2. So, I mean, there's two things to read in from that, is that it's number 2, so the first one must have been kind of successful.
Well, I'm going to have a look at that.
And also, like, how can Police Force Simulation be any different to, like, most... Like, is that kind of like high-speed police chasers, or is that a simulation in the sense of you drive around the streets and kind of arrest drunk people in the middle of the afternoon and stuff? I don't see how you can simulate something like that that's not going to be really kind of boring. Unless you play as some kind of, like, I don't know, SWAT or something, but I can't see one of them simulation games having the physics and the kind of engine for a first-person shooter. So
it seems a bit weird, to be honest. These simulator games are a bit shit. So.
Yeah. I mean, Patch's got here. To be fair, there are billions of rehashes in this industry, including rehashes of farm simulators. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Phil downloaded Euro Truck Simulator 2 demo on my PC as a joke, like kind of like a frape. Like, I was in at my PC and he downloaded it, and like, it was really funny. And I've spent like an hour and a half on it, like, because there's just something that's quite lethargic about driving down the M1 in your big tank kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It's because I don't drive. I've never driven. It was like the closest I've ever been to actually driving like down the motorway, and I don't know. Like, I feel quite ashamed that it was one of the things that I started it just for a laugh, and then before I knew it, I'd driven from like kind of Birmingham to Swansea or something.
Are you allowed to like destroy cars, like drive down the wrong side of the motorway or anything?
You can do, yeah. I mean, there's nothing stopping you smashing into stuff, but it just kind of flips them. And I've actually got a save, because I don't know how you kind of restart, but one of my saves, I'm just like on my side.
One of your saves?
Well, because basically I was
You've got multiple?
Well, I was driving down the motorway, and then I went to like go around this car, and ended up like jackknifing and on my side. And then I don't know how to quit or how to restart, so I just had to quit and start a new save. But anyway, that's far too much talk about that crappy.
Yeah. Let's go back onto a new console.
Back onto. Oh yeah, that was the big thing this week, wasn't it?
I don't know how you say it. It's OUYA.
That's not what I was thinking about.
You're thinking about the piston.
I'm thinking about the piston, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm with Patch. Steambox, the Oya, I think it's called Oya.
Yeah, that's how I thought you'd pronounce it, Oya.
So whose console is this?
It's that Kickstarter one, is the Oya.
Right.
It's sort of it's an Android console. It's really weird, and it's going to retail in June for $99.
So that's really cheap.
It is, but it's been released to developers now.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, patches, but there's open source.
Yeah.
So.
The source has been released to all the developers now, and it's going to be shipping to the Kickstarter people that funded it March 28th. So we'll be able to find some proper reviews on that at some point.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good then.
Yeah.
It looks hideous.
It does, yeah.
It looks hideous. On the flip side to that, you've got Piston, which A, looks amazing, B, rapes your wallet big time. That's like retailing at like $1,000 to start with.
Yeah, $999.
And what were you saying for a bigger hard drive space? It only
it's
costs
another $750 for. Yeah, I think you get a 128 SSD.
Yeah.
And then you upgrade it to a 512 for $750, which is almost the full price of it.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, because I got my PC kind of about a year and a half or so ago, and that cost me £600. And I'm not trying to say that's anywhere near the same power as the Piston, but I don't see how the Piston's going to be that much more powerful.
It's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it's the smallest thing in the world.
I was going to say, that's the thing that surprised me the most, is that it's the size of like a Coke can. I've seen a picture, like they had a kind of a CG Coke can next to it, and it's like the tiniest little thing you ever see.
Well, the thing is, what's happened now is the people that have made the Piston and Steam, well, Valve, are sort of having a fight-off now. They're both saying that it's not what everyone's saying it is. Like, Valve released a statement distancing itself from it, saying this isn't the Steam box, this is just something that we funded. And then everyone was trying to say that, okay, so this is just the Valve PC, and then the people who have made the Piston have come out saying, no, it's not just that, it's so much more than that, we can do so much with this. They're sort of fighting now.
I think the thing is, it never was the Steam box.
No, it never was, but everyone jumped to a conclusion that it was, and it's now pissing both sides of the party off.
I think Valve have just had like expertise put into it.
They funded it.
Yeah, and they've kind of said, like, this is what it needs to be. It needs to be able to do this, 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 and this. But then, the Steam box is going to be... I think the Piston's actually a computer, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a PC.
It's a PC.
You can change the bits, whereas the Steam box is going to be a console. So that's going to be rigged in with the bits, and you can't change it. So I think that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, but they are getting a bit annoyed with each other as well.
Yeah. So, about you, Andy, you got any news? Anything you've dug up from the internet?
No, I think everything's been covered.
I've covered most of it.
I do have one more thing, is new Borderlands DLC.
Oh, yeah.
The new character that's coming out, the melee character.
What's he called?
They haven't released any name for it yet. They just released a trailer saying, bandits beware, destruction is coming, or something. And you don't actually get to see it, it's just a shadow raping the crap out of bandits with melee attacks.
Yeah. See, to me, like, the Necromancer was a completely unique character to both games, to Borderlands and Borderlands 2. That was a completely unique character. But if this is just another fisticuffs, punch everything, then
I think it's sort of a combination between the assassin and the gunzerker in this one.
Because to me, it sounds like it's just going to be a bit like
Bruiser, the Bruiser from the
Brick from the first one. It's going to be just like him. Whereas the Necromancer was like none of the others. It'd be quite nice if they've managed to do something that's, again, it's just a completely unique idea. Like, I don't know what they would do, but that'd be quite nice if it was just something that makes me want to play the game again. Because if it is just another run through and punch everything, then I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not going to bother getting it and playing the game.
Well, the thing is, it's not covered by the season pass as well, which means there's even more DLC coming.
Yeah.
Because the season, they did say initially there was going to be 4 bits of DLC, and that was it. But now there's total of 6.
Yeah. See, like, that's... Yeah, I mean, the whole like season pass thing with a lot of games now is getting a bit confusing to me. Like, I think
It is a good idea, but it should cover everything. It shouldn't be, we'll give you some, but you got to pay for the other bits of DLC.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. I think
because COD are doing it. There was a season pass for all the maps, but then you got to pay extra for some other stuff. And Borderlands 2 is you get 4 bits of DLC, but then you don't get the Necromancer or this new character or whatever else they do. It should
yeah,
be an all-in or nothing.
because that's what Battlefield 3 did, or EA did. There was you became a premium player.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 did that.
The
Elite,
elite.
yeah, Elite.
Yeah.
You got everything. Didn't
You
leave
got
anything out.
Exactly. So with premium, you got like tags, and you got like another weapon, and you got all sorts, and you got the next 4 DLCs, which actually I think that finished coming out this week. It's called Endgame, and I don't know if anyone in the chat has actually played Endgame, but it looks really fun because it's introduced capture the flag, I think, as one of the game modes, and then like little dirt bikes to get around the map on, which to me is like really fun because from what I've seen, it's like a scene from Mission Impossible where someone will be like bombing it down the map in this little dirt bike, and then they're being chased by like some Apache gunship, and then when it's typical like they're shooting and there's dust kicking up everywhere, and there's little like dirt bikes doing jumps and stuff like that. That essentially is what happens. So what's Patch saying here? I kind of wish that they go back to the old model of here a finished game, then here a load of extra stuff in one. So yeah, I think the problem is like too many companies now release DLC, like planned DLC.
Yeah.
Before.
It's not really their fault, to be fair. It's the public now. They've got into the habit of demanding more stuff. The initial game isn't enough for people anymore. But people got Borderlands 2, and then they got it. They played it for a day, and then it was, I'm bored now. Give me the Necromancer. And then they played that for a bit, and it's like, well, give me more. Yeah. It's not the company's fault, really. The companies could not give in, but then that's just everyone's gonna rage then.
I'm pretty sure at one point though, like back in the day, that DLC used to be a thing that would come out once, like come out after, if they didn't have time to put it in the game. But I don't know whether that was me just thinking it was that, or whether that's how it used to be. But I'm pretty sure it was a case of, right, we don't have time to get this in the production, so we can release the game, and it still be a complete game. But then we'll add this bit on, this is like the extra bonus bit that we didn't have time to slot in. Whereas now it's like, okay, we're going to release this game, and then we've got 4 DLCs to come out after. And it's like, well, if you've planned them 4 things, then why can't they be in... Do you know what I mean? It's almost like... Because Tomb Raider's released DLC already, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's map packs for online.
But to me, it's like, why should people be paying an extra $1.99 for these map packs?
Yeah, well, I think online is... Because at the moment, nowadays, what you're really doing is you're paying for the online. I think that you should get all of the map packs. Fine, make new maps later on, but don't make them pay for it. Just give them to as a patch.
Exactly.
What you should pay for is a DLC that adds like an entirely new campaign. Something that extends the gameplay, not just a new skin to a map.
That's what Patch is just saying here, yeah, like Oblivion released the Shivering Isles.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved that.
Which was essentially a new game.
Yeah.
It was to enhance your Oblivion experience. And if you're going into it getting it, like, I don't know, like an extra third on top of your game, you'd happily pay $10 for it.
I'd love to do that, but it's not. That's why I liked Borderlands 1 DLC.
Yeah.
By the time I got round to actually playing Borderlands 1, it had all come out, and they released a disc set, which was a tenner, and you got all of the DLC. Just installed it onto your hard drive, and it's all new campaigns. It's not anything crap. It's not skins. It's not rubbish.
See, that's what I don't understand about Tomb Raider, is these 3 maps they've released for $1.99 now were quite obviously ready when they released the game.
So why not? So it's all money, isn't it?
The game?
It's money.
Exactly.
It annoys me.
And that's bad to me. That's just conning. Because, well, I mean, they didn't charge the most. Tomb Raider was like, what, 25 quid? 26 quid, I think.
$29.99 on the day. Pre-order was 26, I think.
Exactly, so it wasn't the most expensive game. So they could easily have charged.
They could have
extra
just
bit
charged
on
30
top.
quid and given everything straight away.
Exactly.
But
Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why market a game cheaper, but then release DLC within a week? Like, why not put that DLC in the game and make your game that bit more expensive? And then people are paying for a game. You know, it just bugs me. Like,
it does. It bugs me as well.
it's bad. But
Andy, got any views on this? He's been a bit quiet while we've been talking
yeah,
about
he's not very well, is he?
No, he's a bit ill, as some of you may have heard him coughing and spluttering.
I think he's trying to hold his brains in while he talks. So,
Yeah.
I guess we could probably
I
go.
think that's it now. I haven't got anything more now.
We can move on to the quiz now, I guess. The chat can join in on as well. I think Patch. This is the quiz I did last year, like 2012, with Patch. Like, so Patch knows all the answers to this. So,
well,
hold your horses.
he's already put the first answer.
No, I think he's saying basically Andy's going to turn into a zombie.
I wish.
So, okay, right, the way we're going to do this then is I've got like...
You're going to record the scores this time?
Yep, I've got a pen and paper here, I've got my little tally, and I've got a bunch of questions. And basically what we'll do is I'll ask a question, you both give me an answer, I'll tell you if you're right, and then we'll just...
Internet's off limits, yeah?
Internet is entirely off limits.
Right, so that stands for you guys in the chat as well. No Googling the answers if you want to participate. And
also, no looking at the chat, because that's going to sway your answer. So
alright, fine, I'm just going to put Kickstarters on my screen instead.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at the chat if you want. But.
Oh.
Okay, right, so, question number 1. What is the best-selling console of all time?
Oh, crap.
Does that mean handheld console as well?
Yeah. So, basically, the best-selling console of all time.
I'm in two minds here. I'm gonna go with...
If you both give me an answer and you're both wrong, you can get another guess, and it's the first person to get it right.
Wii.
Okay, and what are you saying, Andy?
I'm gonna say the DS.
Both wrong.
PS2.
What are you saying, Andy?
Xbox.
Matt's right. PS2.
I knew it was either PS2 or Wii, because... yeah.
Yep, so that's 1-0 to Matt then on that one. So, okay, so leading on from that then, to the nearest 10 million, how many of that console was sold?
To the nearest 10 million?
Yeah.
Right.
And these like numbers are all right at the time of me writing this quiz, which was months ago. So.
Okay, that explains why it's not the Wii now as the top
console. No,
console.
I mean, it's still a PS2.
Is it?
Yeah. It will be PS2 for a long time. A long time. Yeah, so it's the nearest 10 million.
Don't know why, but 82 million comes into it.
Okay. Whoever's closest gets.
I'm gonna say more than that. I'm gonna say at least 250 million.
Okay, give me a sec to it out in my head. Okay. The actual answer was 154 million, so Matt's right on that one.
Oof, just.
Overcooked it. So Matt was like, what, 70?
Yeah, and Andy was 80.
Ahead.
Yeah, 100.
So, you were right to go higher, you just kind of overcooked
Overshot.
it. Yeah, so, okay. So, name the 2 launch titles for the PS3. So when the PS3 came out, there was only 2 games that came out with it. So basically, when you pre-ordered your PS3, you either chose A or B. And what were those games?
I got a clue in hell.
Nope. Uncharted?
That was not that long after, but that wasn't one of the launch games.
No.
So basically, just keep shouting games out, and then when you get it, you'll get it. I'll give you little clues as well.
Bear in mind, me and Matt are both Xbox people.
Yeah, we're Xbox people.
Xbox came out with like
loads, yeah, it did.
Like 20 games or something. So.
Little Big Planet?
Nope. That was a way after, way after.
Yeah, it was.
Probably a good 2 years after it came out. So I'll give you one of them is there's 3 of them,
Right.
and this was the first one, and they're both completely new IPs, so they're new games whatsoever. There's no prequels to them from PS2.
Resistance.
Correct. Resistance
What?
Fall of Man.
Oh wow.
Resistance Fall of Man was one of them. That's the one that has 3, and then there's another one which now has 4 games, and it's a racing game.
Oh, that's GTA. Gran Turismo. It's gotta be.
It's not Gran Turismo.
It's not Gran Turismo.
It's a new IP.
Ah, new IP.
PS3. Anyone in chat, Dark State, you want to have a stab at this?
Oh.
So, okay, the big selling point for this racing game was that you could pick from a wide variety. Yeah, it's a racing game, so you could pick from a wide variety of.
It's not like Motocross or Motorstorm or.
Motorstorm, correct.
Yes.
Motorstorm. Matt, you are commanding lead at 4-0 after 3 questions.
I'm giving him a head start, you see.
Okay, right. I expect you both to get 5 points from this one.
Oh,
So
shit.
you know you'll get this. So-
Bloody won't.
So there's 5 points available,
Mhm.
and I just need you to name the last 5 Call of Duty games.
Oh, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3,
Yeah.
Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, World at War. I think I've gone far enough.
Do you agree with that, Andy? Are you going to change on that, or?
So Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, World at War. Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. 5 points each for that one then. It's quite an easy one. You've got another easy one coming up. You have to remember that this was written for people who weren't particularly gamers as well. So,
Okay.
what is Tomb Raider's real name?
Lara Croft.
Yep, Lara Croft. So, nice, easy, quick, 1 point each.
Was it her real name though?
I think
It's not.
it's
Not her real name.
It's enough her real name.
It's not her real name though.
Oh, what's her real name then?
Not
Angelina
Lara Croft.
Jolie.
Well,
I don't know off by heart. I know it's not Lara Croft.
well, there we go. It's going to be a real name. So, okay. What number is the new GTA going to be?
5.
You agree with that, Andy?
Mhm.
Yeah. There we go. 1 point each. So, what are we at now? That's 9. That's 11.
7.
So, okay. This one's going to be a bit trickier. So you've got. So I'm going to give you 5 characters. You have to tell me what game they're from. Okay.
Okay.
You've got John Marston, Nathan Drake, Sackboy, Companion Cube, and Ezio.
Ezio, Assassin's Creed, Companion Cube, Portal, Nathan Drake, Uncharted, Sackboy's Little Big Planet. What was the first one?
John Marston.
I have no idea on him. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I've got those 4.
So are they your guesses?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to tell you you got 3 right from that.
The only one I knew was Nathan Drake. Put it that way.
So I'm going to go. So you only knew Nathan Drake because I didn't tell you which ones were right, so you can have a guess.
Yeah.
Of it. So you've got John Marston, Nathan Drake, Sackboy, Companion Cube, and Ezio.
Ezio's Assassin's Creed. Is that Assassin's Creed 2?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Is that what it is?
Well, you give me all your things, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Well, I only know Nathan Drake and Assassin's Creed. Or could it be Assassin's Creed 1? I don't know. It's Assassin's Creed.
So what are you saying?
It's Assassin's Creed.
Okay, I'm going to say you've got Nathan Drake right. Okay, you both got Ezio wrong because that is Assassin's Creed 2.
That's what I said, isn't it?
No,
Assassin's Creed 2?
you said Assassin's
you
Creed
changed it.
1.
I said Assassin's 2.
Yeah, and then you said, or is it Assassin's Creed? Assassin's Creed was old.
I said Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, but you changed it. So
I didn't.
John Marston, that's still up for grabs. I'll give you that one to be up for grabs with.
John Marsden.
John.
No, pass.
I don't even know
No.
where to think.
Not a clue. No. Red Dead Redemption.
I ain't even played that, that's why.
Nope.
Ah, you're missing out. Nathan Drake was Uncharted. Sackboy was Little Big Planet. And the companion cube was Portal. So you didn't know Sackboy was Little Big Planet, Andy?
No? I don't know anything about Little Big Planet.
Rubbish.
I don't know how I didn't get the companion cube. It's beyond me.
I was going to say, I was about to say, aren't you a Portal player?
Yeah, but I'm ill.
I've never even played Portal, and I knew that companion cube is Portal.
Yeah.
Mind you, I did watch the Portal engagement the other day, so... some guy created a portal, and they rebuilt a portal level into a proposal to his girlfriend.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's quite imaginative.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Another five points up for grabs here. You've got name all 5 of the Elder Scrolls games.
5. Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Online.
Not including online.
Not including online.
No. So you've got Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim.
Those are 3 I know.
I love how Andy's waiting for Matt to go first.
No, hang on. No, that's bullshit. I didn't even get a chance to say anything.
Yeah, well, it's a quiz where you're supposed to get your answers out as quick as you can.
You're supposed to write them down before you can say all 5.
No, that's fine. I'm not telling you what's right yet anyway, so you both get your guesses.
I do know this.
So you've got... So what are you saying, Andy?
So I don't know Morrowind, Oblivion and Skyrim.
So so you both had them 3.
Daggerfall.
Okay.
Is that one?
I'm not going to say. You know, you have to...
I'm going to go with Oblivion, Skyrim, Morrowind, Daggerfall, Arena.
You are correct with them 5. So you get 5 points for that. Andy, you were too slow, so you're going to get 3 points for the 3 that you got. Arena looks amazing, by the way.
I've looked into it. I've never actually played it.
I've got it in one of my textbooks. It's like a really old school. It looks like Doom. It's kind of It's kind of cool. It's kind of nice to see what Skyrim used to be. So, okay, what we'll do on this one is if I guess you just be honest, so you don't just copy each other. So we'll take it in turn. So for the first one, if Andy goes first. So what does RPG stand for?
Role-playing game.
You agree with that, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a given. So that's 1 point each for MMO. So if you go first, Matt.
Massively multiplayer online.
Mhm. Yep. That's another one each. You've got ARPG.
Who's going first?
ARPG.
Who's going first? Andy's going first.
ARPG.
ARPG.
I got this.
No idea.
No idea. You know, I'm going to throw... You know what the RPG bit stands for, obviously.
Can I just give... I know this.
Just throw a...
I have no idea.
Not an idea. Okay, go on then, Matt, what are you saying?
Action RPG.
Action RPG.
What's an action RPG?
You know what?
An
Like
RPG
Diablo,
with action.
Diablo, Path of Exile, Torchlight, they're action RPG.
Yeah, yeah, that's more your thing.
You're a Diablo player.
Hardly.
Yeah, but I mean, you should still know what an ARPG is.
It's sort of a given, really.
Okay, so we've got the end of that. That's all the questions. And
Total annihilation.
It's quite clear that Matt has completely wiped the floor with Andy.
He's on the internet as well, though.
No, I'm not. I'm staring at Twitch.
Yeah, no, I got faith in Matt, but yeah, you got smashed.
Taking part of that count.
I think there should be some forfeit for that. And then next,
hang on. You tell us after the quiz.
Yeah.
If you told us that before,
yeah, that's
then
fine.
it's a ball game.
What if you've told that before you'd have cheated? Would you?
Like, listen, probably better.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll do. Well, that's just for fun anyway. So, I mean, that's the end of the quiz. So I guess we've got a bit of time left to fill up. We can do some non-game related chat. Get some questions out there.
Smallville. Andy, why did you get me into Smallville?
Hang on, I didn't get you into it.
Yeah, but I stopped
You were
watching it for
funny.
I stopped watching it for like 3 months, and then you're all of a sudden, have you finished it yet? Finish it. Season 10's awesome. So now I'm watching season 10.
See, I heard the end of Smallville was rubbish.
I'm not at the end of
It's
Smallville
not.
yet.
It's amazing.
I heard it just ended in like a proper flop, and it was kind of like, ugh.
I disagree with that.
No, fair enough.
I haven't got there yet. What episode was I on? I forget what episode I was even on. Episode 15 of season 10. So I got 6 left.
Can't be that far. Yeah.
6 left, and then it's like 200 hours well wasted.
Yeah. I tell you what, I film as a Dark State, a Smallville fan. Yeah, I mean, I've never really watched it, so I can't really comment. But I mean, there's so many TV shows that I want to watch, and that's definitely not one of them.
Well, you see, right, the reason I started watching Smallville in the first place is because the theme song's awesome. That was it. That was it. Because my mate was banging on about it, and he was like, "Listen to this song." I was like, "This song's awesome." And he was like, "Yeah, it's a theme song to this." I was like, "Oh, alright then." And it just sort of sat with me for ages, and then I heard it again just before Christmas, and I was like, "Right, I've got to watch this now."
Yeah. See, I think it's one of them ones that just kind of surpassed me, and then I've got no interest in watching it really.
My dad says it's like 90210.
I'm right in thinking it's the Superman one.
Yeah, it's super.
Isn't it?
It's
Superman.
it's the Superman one before he's Superman. It's sort of his life growing up in Smallville.
So he's like Superboy.
Well, he's learning his powers and saving the town, and then it sort of escalates up, and eventually.
Okay. So is he like Man of Steel, badass by the end of it?
Yeah, by the end of it, well, he's just been given the Superman suit where I am, so he hasn't worn it yet. But
so what does he wear for like the rest of the time? Is he just in?
he actually they colour coordinate his wardrobe, so he's always wearing the red blue colour combination. I didn't actually know that. I read it on the IMDb trivia. But they colour coordinate. His outfit is always the Superman colours throughout the entire show.
Would that not be kind of, so what? So he wears he wears his pants on the outside?
No. He wears a red. He wears like a blue top with a red jacket. And then.
Right. I'm with you. I had this image of him like, he just pulls some boxes up over his jeans or something.
It's also
like,
got
It's
also got all the other DC heroes in it, like Aquaman and Green Arrow and shit.
Are they all in it? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of cool, but yeah, I just don't think it's one that I'm that interested in. I did watch a film last night. You know, The Watch. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. No, which?
The one.
Is that the one with Richard Ayoade?
It's the one where they set up the.
The one with the aliens. The
yeah,
Neighborhood
they set
Watch.
the neighborhood.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest.
I thought that was the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen. It's so. It's just.
Oh,
the worst.
it is. It's so ridiculous.
It's kind of like, it's not ridiculous enough to be like, oh, it's so ridiculous, it's funny. But it's not funny enough to just be funny in its own right. It's kind of like, the only reason it was funny is because, I assume that's who you just meant, Andy, the guy from the IT crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he makes it really funny because of his character and, like, the way he does it.
It does have that shock factor to it, though. I didn't see it coming.
But that doesn't make the film, I don't know, like, I did watch all of it. You know, I kind of wanted to find out how it ended and see what it was all about. But yeah, it really wasn't the best.
It disappointed you then.
No, I've got Zero Dark 30s on my next one to watch. I think I quite like my super soldier type. What was the other one I watched? What's the other one that came out last year? Like the Navy SEAL one. Oh, I can't remember, but that's a good film. I quite like that.
I'm not sure. I've watched a lot of films since.
It's going to really bug me now. That's a really good film.
What have I watched? Let's have a look. I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 films.
14 films.
14 films in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a film a day, so I guess that's not too outrageous, but it's still more than what most people would have watched.
But my favourite ones out of the 14 were the Red Dawn remake. That was bloody brilliant. I loved that. It does well enough so that it doesn't seem like a remake. It seems like its own film. But you can see the similarities that they've put in the story.
Yeah, so I never saw the original. So.
The original is a lot better still, but Red Dawn, the remake version, is good in its own right as well.
Yeah.
And the other one that I thought was amazing is Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Okay.
I only watched it because it's got Emma Watson in it, but then it turns out that it's really good.
Is it?
It is a rom-com type thing, but
is it one of them like kind of indie film type things?
No, it was a proper big production film.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's got Emma Watson in it. It couldn't have been an indie film.
Yeah, I guess.
But the story behind it's really good. I do recommend anyone to watch that, really.
Yeah, I think it's really weird, isn't it? Like, you kind of go into some films and expect it to be garbage, but you want to find out, and then it becomes your favourite film ever.
Yeah.
You know, or you'll put a film off for ages and be like, I just don't want to watch it, and then you're like, oh, why the hell didn't I watch this like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, this was a Perks of Being a Wallflower. I've had it just sat there waiting to be watched for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And I just thought, right, screw it, I'm going to watch it, and it was actually so good.
Yeah, oh, that's quite good then. So, okay, I'm going to put it on my list.
You should do.
A list of things to watch. Either of you two got any questions left over from last week? I know you had a bit of a flurry of interesting questions.
One that I thought of last week, it was actually just after the blooming podcast I thought of it, but it's a thing that goes on quite often between me and my mate, is the argument between Iron Man or Batman.
Oh, yeah. I think it's weird actually. I think I had this conversation with someone else the other day.
See, it keeps coming up no matter where you go. There's always that thing, because Iron Man 3 is coming out in 2 months.
It was at Frisbee.
Yeah.
On the Saturday night, we ended up talking about superheroes and stuff. It wasn't a case of who would win, but it's just who was better.
We sort of have the arguments of both, really. Some days it's who would win, other days it's who's more awesome.
Yeah, I think.
Personally, it's Iron Man for me. I think
it's Iron Man because of his.
It's Iron Man for me because of Robert Downey Jr. and the way he plays Iron Man in the films. It's just.
But I don't think you can't use Robert Downey Jr. as an example. It has to be the character.
Yeah, I do like his tech better as well. I'm not a fan of the bat wings and shit like that and the grapple hook. I prefer jet propelled human.
See, I quite like the fact that Batman's like the dark and mysterious side of all that. That, I think that's kind of cool. Like Iron Man's kind of up himself, which.
Well, you see, I love Charlie Sheen, so you can see why I'd go for Iron Man over Batman, because the up themselves people are just funny.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
And Andy?
Who do I prefer?
Yeah.
Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
No explanation, just Batman.
It's just Batman.
Just Batman. Great podcast.
I think he's
Batman.
better.
But why, though?
Less of an ego.
But an ego makes a superhero, really.
Not really.
It does.
Bruce Wayne's better, or like the character Batman is better.
Yeah, because...
Both. Because obviously Iron Man is, he's quite... He has got an ego.
Yeah, because I guess it's two questions, isn't it? It's either
Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark or Iron Man or Batman.
Or Batman.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Stark is full of himself. Absolutely full of himself.
Yeah, I know. It's brilliant. It's so funny.
I think I'd have to say I prefer Iron Man, but I prefer Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
If you get me, like Bruce Wayne, like as I say, he's kind of a cool, like
cool, collected, mysterious, doesn't give much away.
But then, like Iron Man is like obviously more powerful than Batman. Like, he would just rocket him, or he's like Batman is quite vulnerable, whereas Iron Man is fairly impenetrable. So I guess Iron Man would win.
Yeah, there's no question about who would win, because
I prefer Bruce Wayne as a character.
all you got to do is in Arkham Asylum or City, just get seen by people with guns, and you'll understand why the Iron Man would win.
Exactly.
It's not exactly bulletproof, which it should be, really. With all that money, you'd think that he'd get himself some bulletproof armor.
Yeah.
You know, if he's not going to use guns himself.
A question that came up on the Rooster Teeth podcast today, actually, that was quite interesting, was who owns the moon? Like,
who owns the moon?
Oh no, you've opened up my conspiracy theory crap now.
Can of worms here. Like,
yes, you've done that with me now, and this isn't
like,
going to end well.
If the moon is owned by anyone, like, who owns it?
Russia.
But why Russia?
Because they got there first.
Russia. Why?
This is. They have actually.
I didn't think they had. I thought they just built. I thought the Russians had just built the space station and all that kind of thing, and they'd have actually been.
You've opened all this crap up with me now, because I don't believe that the moon landing ever happened in '69. I think that it was all complete and utter bullshit. And I was having this argument with my dad, going around the NASA Space Center of all places, and it didn't end well.
It did. It definitely did happen.
It didn't. The flag is waving.
The flag is waving because it doesn't matter if there's not like wind or anything, but like it's like the whole elastic argument we had. It's like if you move something in space, it's going to keep moving.
Then why does it stop?
There's a really interesting. It happens on QI where they disprove all the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I know, but they haven't done that.
And there's also
one.
a really good documentary that I watched where they kind of explain it all off, and I'm happy to believe that it was. What's it?
Even seeing all the videos that NASA have while going around their space center, it still didn't convince me that it. I think that it's happened since then, but the whole point was at the start of the '60s. They started the whole race to the moon with Russia, and they found out Russia were gonna get there first, so they faked it to say that they got there first. And well,
I don't know. See, I think a lot of people like
it was
just to join in with the conspiracy theory.
It was the whole Russia v America superpower of the world argument going on back then. Because after that, the Cold War started, and you know, that was just bullshit with the Cold War.
But it wasn't the Cold War before that, or like kind of during that.
No, I'm pretty sure the Cold War started in the 70s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Cold War happened before Vietnam, but after the moon land. I'm googling this.
I thought the Cold War.
To be fair, the Cold War wasn't even a war.
The Cold War was pretty much after. I thought that was like the 50s, 60s.
The Cold War has been dated from 47 to 91, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it was pretty much straight after World War II.
Yeah.
Either way, so, I don't really know. Great, that wasn't the question anyway. So the question was, who owns the moon? And
I technically don't think anyone owns it, because it's a planet. Well, it's not a planet. It's a planetary body that's not big enough to be a planet.
Yeah.
So and it's like no one owns the Earth. No one owns any of the other planets. So why would anyone own the moon?
There was another thing that came up as well that Gavin mentioned.
I'm guessing Gavin brought this topic up as well.
But of all the things like that Gavin comes out with, this one is kind of like quite unusual. Is that at one point, you know how females are born with all the eggs they're going to have in their life?
Yeah, and they release until.
Obviously, yeah. Then when through that period of their life they release them.
Yeah.
So they don't recreate eggs.
Yeah.
Like men obviously have essentially infinite sperm.
Yeah.
Like, bear with me on this. So like
we're getting somewhere slowly.
So that means that when your mum was inside your mum,
you were there as well.
Part of you were also there as well.
Yeah.
So you were technically inside your grandma, on a very, very, very simple, you know, without getting too technical. Like you were essentially inside your mum's mum.
Based on that, technically half of one of your cells was inside your mum, because an egg is a single cell and you start as two.
But the point is, like, you were part of you was inside your mum's mum.
Yeah, how far can you get back on that then?
Well, no, because I was.
Yeah, mum's mum.
No, but I obviously wasn't inside because I was part of me, like my being, was this egg that was inside
It
my
depends
mum.
when
That was inside her mum, but then that egg was not inside her mum, was it?
Not at the same time.
Not that exact egg.
The thing is, we're going.
Okay, so Patch, if you missed what was on about, basically what was like, it came up on a podcast earlier. That basically, because women are born with all their eggs, we were inside our mum's mum as an egg.
But it all depends on when the eggs were created, because you're still growing and
but surely
developing
the eggs were created,
from when you're born. When you're still developing and you don't develop everything straight away.
Yeah, but I think
so. There's a possibility that the eggs technically aren't actually created till around. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this stuff.
Yeah, because then the other thing that came up on that genetic conversation was that anybody who has, say, like, if you were to only have boys.
Yeah.
So say if your family consisted of just boys, then your mum, they say you only have brothers, your mum would be the first woman to, she would stop the kind of the line of females all the way back to the beginning of time, because it'd be the first time a woman wasn't in the family. Does that make sense?
But technically that's the guy's fault.
Because then there'd be no females in that generation.
Yeah.
That family.
But the thing is, it's not the woman's fault though.
It's not the woman's fault, but I mean, I probably explained that really badly. But when they explained it on the podcast, it made sense. So basically,
it does make sense. But I'm just pointing out that it's the guys that have the XY.
Because obviously there would only be sons, and they would all find wives. But then them wives would come from a different branch of.
They'd come from a different bloodline.
Yeah. So it comes all the way down from the beginning of time. There would have been some continuation of females until there's only boys, and then.
Mind you, hold on, no, because the son could then have a daughter, which then is still the same bloodline.
Yeah, but there's a gap, there's a break in the chain, then, isn't there?
Yeah, but what if the mother has a sister who has a girl?
It's exactly the same if the family only has girls. It stops this long line of.
But how do you know that there's always been a female in each generation? You don't know that.
He does explain it on the podcast. I mean, maybe I should have gone back and listened to it, but it definitely, there is some logic behind it, that basically it becomes the first time in a very long time that's I just find it quite interesting when you think about it. But I'm guessing you could, I don't know, there must be some logic to it.
There's logic to everything.
You're born a massive amount of successful ancestors. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up for everyone. Yeah, because I'm going to have to look, Rooster Teeth podcast 208. They talk about it on that, and it is quite interesting. But yeah, so I think that's what we're at, nearly 8 o'clock now. So I think I'm happy to wrap it up here.
Unless Andy's got a question he hasn't had on this week.
No.
I think Andy will just be happy to go and go to bed.
I'm going to bed after this.
Yeah. So cool. All right then, guys. Well, thanks for listening. It's always nice when we kind of come to do this podcast when there's several people already waiting in the room. That always obviously makes it us kind of feel happy to actually do the podcast when there's people here listening. So thanks for being here.
Thing is, I'm a vegetarian, so can I be a zombie vegetarian?
Oh, don't you start. We're just wrapping up. Save that for next.
I just read a comment. It's if I'm a vegetarian in this life, do I maintain vegetarianism?
No.
Because you don't.
You revert back to the cannibalistic ways.
Because you don't eat people in this life, do you? So,
yeah. Don't eat meat in this life.
Yeah, So I say thanks, Dark State. It's nice to chat. We'll probably be on the same time next week. So I don't know, Dark State, if you came through our Steam or not. But if not, add me on Steam.
Yeah, he is on our Steam. I invited him.
There we go. Then that's fine. So check out our Facebook, our Twitter, and our YouTube accounts for all of our other videos. and we'll see you at the same time next week. So
see you guys.
bye.